Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Tanzania's Chamber of Minerals and Energy Executive Secretary Emmanuel Jengo has strongly denounced mine nationalisation as an industry destroyer, saying he is against state mining companies. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer is in the studio to tell us more. Welcome to Second Take, Martin.
Thanks, Shannon.
What is Jengo's main concern against state mining companies?
Well, I think he made a very big impact at the African Mining Conference in Johannesburg because of the experience that he's had, both of mining nationalisation and state mining companies and the so-called free carry that governments have. And he's dead against all three. And he made no bones about it. And it was quite an interesting, strong stand that he made, first from the floor and then from the podium. So he was quite prepared to enter into debates in every direction to give his views. He was unhesitating. And his whole ethos is that private capital flows to where capital is needed. So why should the state start taking hard-earned taxpayers' money and then not doing the job that they're really there for, to actually build services for the people and to build infrastructure for social and economic means for the people that have voted for them? But to get into mining on the state, you need so much capital that it takes it away from the social needs of a country.
Now, he's also called on global miners in Africa to invest on African stock exchanges.
Yeah, this is a thing that he was quite firm on. He wants Africans to be able to invest in global mining companies. And, he's saying that we have it in Johannesburg here to some extent, although we've also got impediments here. He wants it to happen. He wants the legislative environment to happen in Tanzania because he's saying, large companies like Barrick and Anglo Gold, Ashanti have come in there. They're not really listed on the local exchange, and that's how he wants the people to get access to, the upside of mining. But it also, of course, they risk being on the downside of mining. But that might also create a strong reality that, investors face these risks all the time. They got the upside potential, but they've also got the downside risk. And he would like to see global miners list on African exchanges so that the people of Africa can invest in these particular ventures and also benefit if there is benefit to be made.
Now, you mentioned that he condemns free carried governments. What is his thinking behind this?
He says that when a company comes into a country and the government says, give me shares, but I don't want to pay for them. He's saying that this free carry, which is becoming quite prevalent in Africa, is just a tax because, the state is not putting a bean into the investment, but it's waiting for cash generation and taking that cash generation. And he says, how different is that to a tax? I mean, it's just a straight tax. So why do you have taxes? Then you have royalties. And now you also have a free carry. He doesn't mind the state actually coming in as a commercial investor, but he feels they shouldn't be more than 15%. So if they want to actually take cash and put it in, rather than nationalize, rather have a small percentage where the state itself can also have a revenue stream, and he thinks it should be capped at around 15%.
Do you think his comments will hold any importance in South Africa?
Well, it clashes head-on with some of the thinking in South Africa at the moment, and some of the thinking that is creating quite a lot of concern. Because, you have the Youth League president, Julius Malema, stridently calling for nationalisation, not really spelling out how this is going to be done. And then you also have his lobbyists making sure that it gets onto the ANC Congress's agenda. And he's jumping for joy, Julius is, over that, because he knows in 1912 this is on the agenda. Now, although, our state president, Jacob Zuma, and also Susan Shabangu, the Minister of Mines, has said there won't be nationalisation. And Susan has said, I think there won't be nationalisation in my lifetime. You actually have to say how you are going to deal with the nationalisation issue to make sure that it can't happen. Without actually just making statements, particularly in view of the fact that people are getting this onto ruling party agendas, and that creates a new wave of enthusiasm. But on the negative side, a person who's potentially wanting to invest in mining in South Africa will say, hang on, let's wait till after 2012. Let's see how this debate goes. And then you lose out on this investment. You lose out on the wealth that it creates. You lose out on the jobs that it creates. So we start suffering as a result of statements which cannot be dealt with immediately but get put into a future horizon, and they come back to haunt us.
Well, thank you very much for your input, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Shannon.
That's the show for today. Join us again next time for more news and insights into what's happening in the mining world.